A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant political development, the controversy surrounding President Donald Trump's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files is intensifying. The issue has become a focal point of tension between Republicans and Democrats, as well as within the Republican Party itself. On Tuesday, House Republicans voted narrowly, 211 to 210, to reject a Democratic proposal aimed at compelling the government to release crucial information related to Epstein, a convicted sex offender whose crimes included trafficking minors. This vote mirrors a similar outcome from a House Rules Committee meeting earlier in the week, where the push for transparency was also defeated. For years, Republican leaders have campaigned on promises to unveil the government's Epstein-related information, including the controversial client list. However, Attorney General Pam Bondi has now asserted that the anticipated information is not available and that further details will remain confidential. This unexpected stance has sparked unusual backlash from Trump's own MAGA supporters, who are expressing frustration over what they perceive as a cover-up. Democrats have seized upon the situation, amplifying their calls for transparency and mocking Republicans for their apparent retreat from previous commitments. Did anyone really think the sexual predator president who used to party with Jeffrey Epstein was going to release the Epstein files? Questioned Democratic Senator Jon Ossoff of Georgia during a rally. House Minority Whip Representative Katherine Clark, a Massachusetts Democrat, released a video urging the release of the files, highlighting the internal conflict among Republicans regarding the Epstein issue. Clark pointedly asked, "What is the administration hiding?" Echoing sentiments expressed by other Democratic leaders such as Representative Pramila Jayapal from Washington. The Democratic National Committee's Rapid Response Director, Kendall Whitmer, criticized the GOP's recent vote, stating, "Republicans talked a big game about releasing the Epstein files during the campaign, and now they are chickening out. It doesn't matter how the GOP tries to spin it. Either they lied to the American people to get elected, or they are lying now to protect Donald Trump from any accountability for his long association with an infamous sex trafficker." Representative Judy Chu, a Democrat from California, emphasized the public's right to know, declaring, "There's no excuse for blocking the release of the Epstein files. The public has a right to know who enabled his heinous crimes. Republicans are blocking Americans from the truth." The political landscape is further complicated by Trump's own reaction to the growing calls for transparency. In a rant posted on his Truth Social platform, Trump dismissed the demands for information as a scam orchestrated by Democrats, referring to the situation as the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. He expressed frustration that his former supporters have fallen for what he terms bullshit, pushed by the Democrats and the media. Surprisingly, some of Trump's staunch allies are now joining the chorus for more transparency regarding Epstein. Notable figures such as his daughter-in-law Laura Trump, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, and House Speaker Mike Johnson are advocating for the release of more information. Speaker Johnson went so far as to state, "We should put everything out there and let the people decide." Additionally, Representative Tim Burchett has called for Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's associate, to testify before Congress, further signaling a shift among some Republicans who are demanding accountability. Meanwhile, Representative Thomas Massie has introduced a discharge petition aimed at forcing a vote on a bipartisan bill that would require the release of all Epstein files, including flight logs and internal communications regarding the investigation. He stated, "We all deserve to know what's in the Epstein files, who's implicated, and how deep this corruption goes." However, the future of this petition remains uncertain as Republicans have previously voted against similar measures. Trump's dismissive attitude towards the growing calls for transparency within his party raises questions about the potential for resolution. He has characterized those advocating for the release of information as weaklings and has distanced himself from their efforts. In a press conference shortly after his social media rant, Trump reiterated his support for releasing only credible documents, downplaying the significance of Epstein's case by stating, "He's dead. He's gone." The ongoing struggle over the Epstein files highlights a broader conflict within the Republican Party, as years of promoting conspiracy theories clash with the demands for accountability and transparency now that they hold power. The situation has become a political battleground, with Democrats capitalizing on Republican divisions while the GOP grapples with its own narrative. As the controversy unfolds, the question remains, will the public ever gain access to the Epstein files, and what implications will this have for the Republican Party's future? That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.